God reminds his people through Moses in today's first reading, "Be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." And then he lists down things that he asks, commandments, ways to avoid sin, things that we should not do, and things that we should do. And throughout all of those layers, he would always remind, "I am your God, and I am holy, and I am calling you to be holy." In other words, when we follow God, we are making ourselves holy. But we are reminded, of course, that it is our hearts uh, that also need to follow. Not just our actions, but our heart. And that is why Jesus came. But still, the question, why? Why, if God wants to be one with us, if God wants to unite with us, why do we need to be holy? Why do we need to follow all of those commandments? And in today's gospel, Jesus tells of uh, people who have failed to do so, failed to do their acts of mercy to those who are in need. And when they are in heaven, they said, "We followed you, we proclaimed your name." But because they failed to make themselves holy by giving their lives to following God, they have failed to be able to communicate with God. Have you ever had a friend um, and you fail to communicate because you are not speaking the same language? And it's really hard, you know. It the relationship doesn't flourish, and most of the time you end up fighting with each other. When God asks us to be holy, He is teaching us how to speak His language. He's telling us, teaching us how to make a relationship with Him. But just as when we learn words, but we don't find meaning in them, when we speak words that doesn't come from our hearts, the relationship doesn't build. You don't speak to someone and just read the newspaper and expect that you are interacting. When God says, "Be holy as I am holy," He's telling us, speak my language and make it come from the heart. So, in this season of Lent, let us reflect. What language are we speaking? Are we following the commandments? Are we um, doing our acts of mercy? And more importantly, are we doing those because we want to unite ourselves with God? Or are we doing those for empty reasons? God calls us to a relationship. When God asks us to make sacrifices this Lent, it is so that we can draw closer to Him. Don't miss that opportunity.